Good evening, brothers and sisters. I'd like to testify to give honor and glory to the Lord of a great miracle that the Lord worked in my life. 11 years ago in prophecy, the Lord told me that the devil was fighting for my soul since before I was born, but that he would fight for me. Since I was little, I felt like I had been born in the wrong body. It made me very unhappy during my infancy and childhood. And when I turned 18, I underwent a process to become the woman that I felt that I was inside. Brothers and sisters, the enemy provided everything for me to undergo the process: money for surgery, medication, recovery, and the comforts for me to lead that lifestyle that I had always wanted to since I was little. The process lasted 7 years, to the point where, according to me, I had formed a family, but I began to feel empty and nothing gave me the happiness that I thought it would. So I decided to seek the Lord, read the Bible, and pray to the Lord at home. I started going to church, and I felt like praising the Lord and congregating. The Lord made me many beautiful promises, among them that He would give me a child. Days went by, and I felt a lot of discomfort in the lower part of my stomach, and I had dreams that I was pregnant. I thought that the Lord had accepted me as a woman and that I was pregnant, but that was confusion by the enemy. I prayed a lot to the Lord because I was confused about the changes happening in my body. I prayed to Him and asked Him to have mercy because I wanted to know what was happening in me. I went to the doctor and they couldn't find anything. The Lord, in His mercy, through prophecy, told me that the enemy was trying to confuse me, that he was going to work miracles in me, but that what would happen is what was written in the Bible. And in the Bible, He didn't say that a female would become a male or that a male would become a female. What the Lord would do was cause me to be like I was when I was created, and He had made me a male, and I would remain that way. At that moment, the Lord delivered me and told me not to worry about the changes I felt in my body because He would restore my masculinity, that I was not a woman and that He hadn't given me a family, that He would be giving me a child and a beautiful family once He had made the changes in me and caused me to become that beautiful male that He had created in my mother's womb. And all the pain and inflammation I was feeling was Him restoring my organs that I had damaged from the medication that I took while I was trying to become a woman. Since receiving that prophecy, I have become a different person. I felt like a man trapped in a woman's body. I started the process to reverse all the changes I had done to my body. The Lord worked a miracle because the devil trapped me. I was trapped in a woman's body, the mask of a woman. But the Lord in His mercy delivered me. Now I'm very happy. I'm a very happy man. I never thought I would be this happy. I'd like to highlight that the Lord had promised my mother years ago that He would cause me to become the man who He had created. I testify to give honor and glory to the Lord.
Brothers and sisters, the Lord had made me this promise 9 years ago when I first started congregating in the church. My children were very young. They were about 9 or 10 years old, and the Lord told me that they would serve Him. But when they reached adolescence, my son began to distance himself. When he turned 18, he told me what he had been feeling and the decision he wanted to make. It was very difficult for me, brothers and sisters, but I held fast to the promise God made me because He said to me, He will serve me greatly and will be a preacher in my church. But brothers and sisters, everything I was seeing was completely opposite to what God told me. Surgeries, hormones, treatments. Every day, He was undergoing something different. The Lord also showed me in a dream when my son started to disappear. My son would disappear and the whole family would go out looking for him. Everyone was tired of looking for him, but I never stopped. I would wait for him. And in the dream, the Lord showed me that even though he had disappeared, he was in God's heart. because God had promised me that he was going to serve him. And brothers and sisters, I kept that dream in my heart. I held fast to his promises. And every day I reminded God about his promise. Throughout all of this, 7 years passed, brothers and sisters, and they were very difficult years because the surgeries, including some that were quite extreme, and I remember after one of the surgeries, I completely collapsed. I would say, God, remember your promises. Look at how everything you created is being destroyed, Lord. But God, nothing is impossible for you. You promised it. You will allow for the promise to be fulfilled. You will restore everything because you promised me that he would serve you and this will come to pass. Afterwards, brothers and sisters, the Lord told me that that young man would be calling me and that he would be going through a very troubling situation, very difficult, and that I would be comforting him and he would be with me in that moment. And this came to pass when my son called me and I picked up the call. This was after the Lord had delivered him. He said, Mom, what did I do? Mom, how could I have done this? I'm so embarrassed with God. But it's because God had performed this amazing miracle that he had promised me he would do. I was able to see my son again. The process has been beautiful. I want to testify this to give the glory, the honor, and praise to the Lord, because despite the difficulties throughout all these years, the Lord has always been with me. He was my comfort. He was always my refuge. He was always my strength. To have God's living word, his comfort, and today now to have my son by my side, to see him as a man despite never feeling it. And he tells me now, Mom, I feel like I've been born again. I never felt how I feel now. I feel like a happy man. And importantly, he has peace and happiness. He feels comfortable in his own skin, and it's God who has performed this miracle. I testify to give the glory, the honor, and the praise to the Lord.